That was going to be another thing too. Was I'm not, does he pay it straight to the state, or does he pay it to? I'm sure he wouldn't pay it to me, but
well, that depends. I mean, if the state comes after you and you pay the state, then you would have that claim and he would owe you.
But otherwise, if you just pay half, then the half that he owes is paid to whoever had custody of the children. And
yeah, or a lot of times the state intervenes and they're the middleman, or the state makes payments and then they have the right to go after the responsible party. I mean, the state is heavily involved in this kind of stuff. So without knowing specifics and really without practice in that area, it could wind up either way, but there's certainly no simple way to get you out of this. You can't say, well, he was in prison and he owes it, so don't go after me for it. That's probably not going to work.
That's not really what I mean, I don't mind, because they are my children. I don't mind paying half of it, but I feel like considering that he is the father, he needs to pay the other half.
That's hard to argue with.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right.
We understand the issue. You want him to pay. He's been in prison.
He should.
He doesn't have any money. Of course he should pay, but he's not going to do it.
But as a practical matter, you can be stuck with the whole thing, and then what you'll have at the end of that is the right to try to chase him down for some money, which may not work.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Cadis.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, my name.
Hi, we got your name. Candace.
Yes.
Oh, Candace. Okay, we got an N in there. All right, Candace, what's your question?
When I was 16, I was in a bad accident with an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
We were in a car, and I told him to let me out, so I had my right foot out, and he gassed the car.
Oh, my gosh.
So when I hit the concrete, I was in a coma.
When was this, Candace? Well, how old are you now?
I'm 20 now.
Okay. And where did it happen?
It happened in Arkansas, and now I'm living in Alabama.
Okay.
So when I hit the concrete, I was in a coma for about a month. I had bleeding in the front part of the brain and a skull fracture in the back. After I woke up out of the coma, my mom, had a lawyer. She wanted to press charges, but I never went through with it. A year after the accident, he had a little boy, which he killed, so he's in jail now for life. Is there any way that I can go after him now? I have medical issues that came up within the years.
Yeah. You can. He's in prison for life. So what would be the point of having a judgment against him?
Did he have insurance? Did he have insurance on the car?
Did you collect the insurance?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh!
At the time I was 16, I didn't know, any.
Well, there's several potential issues. If you're 16 at the time, depending on the law in Arkansas, and we won't know that tonight, but depending on the law in Arkansas, your claim may still be very viable because you're not 21 yet.
It's possible.
So, and it may be that even notwithstanding that, there may be what they call a statute of limitations may be longer than 4 years. You indicated that this was about 4 years ago. Has it been more or less than 4 years?
It's been about 4.
About 4. Well, yeah. Well,
what was the date of the accident? How about that?
Oh my goodness. I'm not really sure on the date. I know it was probably around March 20th.
Okay. Well, whatever the date was, Arkansas law is going to control, and that we can't tell you. And if there was insurance, there could be some source of recovery. But if somebody's in prison for life, you're not going to recover from them on a civil case.
Were you living with your mom and dad at the time?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Well, your mom and dad's insurance may provide some additional coverage for you. We'd have to look at that policy to see, but you may have a claim against their insurance company, and you may have a claim against the insurance company for the man that was driving the car.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if somebody else owned the car, I mean, there are a lot of facts to be gathered before anybody can tell you for sure what you've got, although the concept of getting money from this guy who's in prison for life, we can be pretty assured is that's not going to fly.
But Candace, here's the critical concern. You have now gone over 4 years from the date of the accident. Based on March 20th, it's 4.5 years. Initially, we'd have to verify the statute of limitations in Arkansas, which we don't know just offhand. Each state is different, so we can look it up in the morning. But you should not waste any time at all from this day forward if you're going to try to make a recovery, because you've already waited a long time. But there is a hope that perhaps Arkansas has a statute that allows a minor like yourself to bring a claim later when you reach your majority, that is age 21. Or maybe in Arkansas 18, but regardless, you may have a claim.
But your parents, so did you say your mother got a lawyer or started to do something, and then it didn't result in anything?
She started to get her lawyer, and the thing that was going on, we were renting a house from his grandpa, so we were living maybe a pasture away. He would come, look through the windows. He'd write me threatening letters, so I just kind of backed out of it. I didn't do anything. Yeah. And now, me being 20,
sounds like he's in the right place.
I have a lot of medical issues that, since I'm not on Medicaid, I have to deal with it myself. And, I just...
What city are you in, Candace? What city are you in?
Daphne.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, it's further complicated because you're in Alabama. But if you'll call our Pensacola number there, it's on the screen. It's all fours. The area code's 850. If you'll call us, we'll take some information from you tomorrow. Tell the person that answers the call, our screener folks and inquiry people, that you talked to Bill and Bob last night on television, and we ask you to call. Give us some information. We'll try to get on it as fast as we can, and perhaps put you in touch with a lawyer in Arkansas that can pursue this for you. You just don't want to lose any more time. It's critical that you move on this as quick as possible. May already be too late, but maybe not. We don't know yet, okay? But try to get a hold of your parents' insurance policy as fast as you can. That may provide you coverage that could be very beneficial to you, depending on what the policy is, okay?
Good.
Okay, thank you all so much. I didn't know if I had to get in contact with somebody in Arkansas or Alabama. I'm still young. I don't know where to start.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can help you.
Yeah, very likely going to end
Arkansas.
up with
Arkansas is
somebody in Arkansas. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But again, we need to get more information from you to make sure we get you to the right people.
Arkansas law is going to control, because that's where the accident happened. It doesn't matter where you are now.
That's a good point, though. Thank you, Candace, for the call, because what the call demonstrates is that if you're involved in an accident in another state, this caller lives in Alabama, has an accident in Arkansas, her boyfriend's in prison, the issue is, where did the accident take place? I mean, that's really controlling, isn't it, Bill?
Sure.
And the law of that state, most people don't realize this, each of these states' laws are somewhat different, aren't they?
And some of them have very short statutes of limitation. I mean, there are, I think it's Tennessee at one might have 1 year statute. You had to get it all figured out and get your lawsuit filed in 1 year or lose it.
Critical when you've been seriously injured in an automobile accident. Just critical that you do not delay if you have been badly injured or there's been a death wherever you are, whether it's Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Florida, it doesn't matter. You need to move with great haste to get the case addressed by a lawyer. It's just a good thing to do.
Every day, we hear from people who've just waited too long.
Waited too long.
So why? And
waiting to see how they get over the injury, etc.
Why did you wait so long? Well, then.
And you lose witnesses. I mean, the critical thing is many times you have key witnesses that you can't find because it's been 3 or 4 years. But for Candace, we may be able to steer her in the right direction. We're going to try anyway. Okay, Kim, are you there?
Hey, Kim.
All right, you're on the air. But you need to turn the TV down, Kim, okay?
Yes, sir. What my question is I have a son that's almost 3 months old, and when I had him, I had a natural childbirth, and for some reason, the doctor my gynecologist that I used, I'd say about 4 or 5 weeks after I had my son, I had completely passed out walking to the store with my mom, and I had to be took.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, that interesting story will be to be continued. Aletha, are you there?
Yes.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting so long, Aletha. You're on the air.
That's okay. Okay, my situation is at the end of 2007, we sold a home in Florida and sold it completely. Paper signed, everything was okay. Well, about May of 2008, we were contacted and said that there was a mistake in the deed and something, and we needed to sign some more papers, and we did all that. Well, the reason in 2008 that was found was because the man that we had sold it to was refinancing the house. He refinanced the house for about twice of what it was worth, and now they're foreclosing on him.
Aletha, you have somebody trying to call you on your phone, and you have call waiting or something. And so we missed half of what you said. So I would suggest that you take the call from the person who's calling you and then call us back, and then we'll put you on the air, okay? Because when calls are interrupted like that, there's just no way we can understand in sequence what people are telling us. Okay, we're going to go to Linda quickly. Linda, you are next.
Yes, my name is Linda Smith. I live in Daphne. I was hit head-on by someone that didn't have insurance. And my nephew, I was driving his truck. It didn't have insurance. But I went to the hospital in the ambulance, and I'm making bills that I can't pay. And I think he should be responsible. I need to know what, if anything, that I could do to make him pay for the doctor bills and whatever. And I still need to go to the doctor.
Well,
I'm still in pain.
You may be facing a situation in which there is no hope. That is, if there's no insurance and the person that hit you and caused the accident doesn't have anything and doesn't even have a good job, you may not be able to.
They should be liable. They should be responsible. They are liable. But all a lawyer can do is get you a piece of paper that says they owe you money. There's no debtor's prison. And after spending a lot of money getting this judgment, because you have to put on testimony and stuff, that person can go bankrupt and wipe your judgment out. That's why the first question we ask is so often, well, is there any insurance coverage?
And it's
on the report, the accident report, it says that he couldn't find his insurance or his license, and he was on some type of drugs.
Well, we will be happy if you call us to refer you to an Alabama lawyer to look into it for you.
Okay.
Lawyers generally that do this kind of work, which we do not charge people for an evaluation or a consultation. And sometimes really creative lawyers can figure out a way to get recovery.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes people tell you they don't have insurance, and they actually do.
That's what I'm thinking, that he does have it, and I know where he works and everything.
Well, then you may well be able to collect at least a portion of it from him. You call us, and we'll make a referral for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. I think it's time for our next break, which we're going to take right now. Bob Kerrigan and Bill Rankin on The Law Show. We'll be back here in a minute.